Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Cool.
Awesomeness. Welcome, welcome.
Cool. Already seeing some nice familiar faces from last time. Like I remember Afzal from Johannesburg.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome, Sheenie B. Sheenie B, where are you dialing in from?
Hi.
Hey, Afzal. How's it going, man?
Yes, Afzal.
All good, all good. Hi, Ishman. Hi, Angela. Hi, Darwin.
Hey, hi there.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm from Singapore.
Oh, awesome. Welcome, Sheenie. Singapore. So we got a good Singapore crew. And I'm going to guess that...
Sharul.
Sharul, I'm guessing you're in Malaysia. You might be in KL. Just a small suspicion.
Just a wild guess.
It's a wild guess.
It just cuts, the whole icebreaker thing to like, 2 seconds.
Where are you from?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should have your entire bio in the background, just like literally, it's like, my name is Joshua. These are my favorite foods. I'm dialing in from Hong Kong. Just deal. I promise.
I've put the board link in again. And if you guys are keen to sort of intro yourselves, you'll see on the board, we have a little sort of welcome area and a couple of, looks like a sort of a little, Chinese restaurant going here. And grab a seat at a table, and we want you to tell us what your food heaven and food hell is. So, put your name there, and if you get a chance to upload like a food that you love or hate, and we'd love to fill all the tables, and we'll use those tables a bit later. So as people stream in, hopefully they get to fill those in.
Cool. I'm doing that right now. For those who are curious, I'm just going to do it the world's, because I know every single time we do have a couple people who are new to Miro, which if you're new to Miro, don't worry, don't panic. This session is going to be designed for people who are newer to Miro, as well as those who have been playing with tons and tons of stuff. So definitely no worries either way. I'm just going to screen share in the background. Going to screen share that up so you can all see what in the world we are actually talking about. So again, for those of you dialing in, we will be starting the session in just 2 or 3 minutes. We're just waiting for a couple more people. So everyone, the link to this board is in the chat. We'll post it again in a moment. You can see there's a nice little welcome that says, start here. By the way, if you have any questions during the session, you can post them at any time in the question area. We also have very nice, convenient links to our Miro online community. You can just click on the little Miro icon there and click on there if you want to join the community anytime. But what Angela was talking about is over here. Oh, you can see some people are already doing this. Darwin's done an awesome job here. He's hanging out at table 1, and well, he's done something wrong because he called green curry his food hell. So I think you had a typo there. I think that you, Darwin, I think that you've reversed those two, chicken rice and green curry. You should be flipping those actually. I eat a lot of green curry.
No.
Yeah, Angela was like, wow, Darwin, are you sure?
What's going on?
Those are funny. Well, also, I'm a vegetarian, so yeah, we're gonna go with chicken rice not being one of my favorites. Although there is actually a vegan chicken rice place down the hill from me, which I know sounds like sacrilege. So at one of these tables, just grab a table, put your name on there, just like Darwin's done, and put your food heaven, food hell. Try to find a table with a couple people at it. We're gradually filling up the tables. I mean, yeah, technically you can go all the way over here to table 10 and just hang out by yourself. Try to find a table where there are other human beings at. All right. I'm going to stop screen sharing now, but we'll be going to that table in just, shall we give it just 2 more minutes?
Sure. Yep.
Awesome. We'll keep it on time.
Yep.
Anybody else coming in, you are welcome to say hello. It'll be Ispan and I for just the first like 3 minutes, and then we're tossing the show over to our incredible host tonight, Darwin and Angela, who I'm super stoked to sit back and do nothing. Oh, Francis G wants to come in. Should we let Francis in? I don't know. Oh no, somebody let him in.
I'm gonna switch role now from matri to chef. Hang on.
Oh, you got a change of outfit, have you, Darwin?
Not like now, live one.
Yeah, where's your Halloween costume, Darwin? This is supposed to be.
I've I've got my wooden spoon here for if anybody misbehaves. Okay.
Here you go. I'm all ready.
Whoa.
I'm all ready for you.
All right, so we've got 24 people. It is 6 minutes after the hour.
Yeah.
Wow, I do love your tiny chef's hat, Darwin. That is a beautiful little chef's hat you going on there. Is that using the built-in
Yes,
one?
Yeah.
That
it
is, that's
one of those
built-in.
nice features. Yeah.
Yeah, so by the way, if anybody else would like, since we're doing cooking with Serious Play, you are welcome under your Zoom video. There is the option to choose your video filter. It's built into Zoom now. It's basically those Snapchat filters. And one of those filters is a chef's hat.
Yep.
Where
Yeah,
is the
there is.
chef's hat?
Right down below.
I got the
below.
mask.
See.
There's
We
the
could all
mask.
put our hats on if we want to. I'll pop mine on too. Let's
Yeah,
see.
there you
Yeah,
go.
it's
Pirates.
next to the graduate.
Graduate cup.
There we go.
Yeah, there we
On
are.
it?
There we
Yeah.
go.
There, now
So
we
we're
are.
all
Now
cooking.
We're cooking. Now we're cooking with Serious Play. We're good for this.
Cool.
All right. So without further ado, I want to say a huge welcome to everybody coming today. We will probably have a few more people joining us. Can I just get wow, Robert has got Robert Kinsel has got a much more interesting filter going on. He looks like a pig.
I am the dinner.
There we are.
Oh.
I'm actually, I don't eat pork, but thank you, Robert. So today we are going to be having Darwin and Angela taking over in just a moment. I do like the pirates that we've got in the background. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Absolutely. That's beautiful. If you are brand new to Miro, if you've never used Miro before, can you either physically raise your hand or you can use like the little emojis down there. So we've got Judith, Jerry. So we've got a couple people. If you are new to Miro, do not worry. We will be going relatively slow. If you feel lost at some point, we'll be screen sharing this as well. So really, I promise, don't panic at all. This is going to be a great experience, even if not. Hopefully, even if you are brand new to Miro, you'll be inspired by it as a platform. This is not actually, by the way, a sales pitch for Miro. None of us are paid for Miro. We're not getting a bunch of Miro swag on the side. We just happen to love using it as facilitators.
We're not?
And for part, yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Isman. You didn't realize we're not getting paid? You're going to see Isman leave the conversation right now. So we will be sharing the board multiple times. We'll also be screen sharing it. This is the second APAC virtual Miro user group meeting. Isman and myself, so Isman's a little bit under the weather today, so I'm shouting at the wind right here. But Isman and I are the co-heads for that. If you have an idea for a session, we are tossing this out to the community. Darwin and Angela raised their hand for this time, but if you have an idea for a session, whether that's tool-based or topic-based, please do let us know. We're always happy to have sessions from anywhere around the world, but especially we do like to feature the crew everywhere from, well, technically, Eastern Russia all the way over to Sydney, Australia and New Zealand and stuff. So that sort of area, we're kidnapping Australia and Sydney as part of the APAC VMUG, so we're going for that. So if you're dialing in from Australia, you're part of us. You've been adopted by Asia temporarily. Thank you, Alexandra. I think that's everything from me. Isman, did you want to say a couple words about Angela and Darwin before we toss it over?
No. So Angela and Darwin, we're much friends. We are part of a community called the Faculty of Play. Look up that group of people as well. We're pretty fun as well. But otherwise, we my association with them, we came from the world of Lego Serious Play. You might have heard of that. But with the entire COVID situation, like that job, that opportunities to break out the Legos in people's offices completely gone. So I think in the last 9 to 10 months, we have reinvented ourselves, and Darwin, especially Darwin and Angela, they've gone ahead and developed their repertoire using online tools such as Miro to how do you get serious play going in the virtual environment. So I don't want to talk too much, but otherwise let's have Darwin and Angela to kick off the show. And
just 10 seconds. If you do have technical issues or any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Isman and I are going to disappear into the background since we're just moderating. They are the hosts. But if you do have questions, feel free to send either of us either a public or private message in the chat. Other than that, have a wonderful session. And if you've got an idea for a session you'd like to lead or like to not leave, like to lead or like to see, please do reach out. But yeah, thanks very much for joining us tonight. Without further ado, let's give Darwin and Angela a huge clap. Welcome.
Cool. Thanks, guys. So yeah, we are your two sort of chefs today, and we're cooking with Serious Play. And what we'd love to do is give you sort of a peek into our Serious Play world. We've started off and said, guys, you know, grab yourself a table. Hopefully everybody's on the Miro board. Grab a seat at the table, and maybe you can at least just put, you know what we say in Singapore, you choke your seat, put your Post-it there. And of course, we had a couple questions for those folks that were in early enough to say what your favorite foods were. But
what is your food heaven and food hell?
Exactly. And I can see we've got some very different points of view on food here. But I think just in terms of how things are going to go for the next sort of hour and a bit, and let me just do a little screen share here so that everyone can see where we're at. There we are. Give me a seckie. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we want to sort of give you guys a little flavor of our world. To start with, we thought we would just give you a straight sort of launch into Serious Play. You know, we can talk about it as much as, you know, anyone can, but the truth is it's best to be experienced. And so I think as a sort of first appetizer we want to share with you, we're going to do a little appetizer, get you into Serious Play, and then we'll have another little activity a little bit later on, and hopefully give you a peek of our buffet, our Serious Play toolbox, if you like. So I think, Darwin, why don't we just kick straight off into the appetizer?
Exactly. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening to some already. Let me just make sure that you guys have gotten a seat and you plunked in your name. If not, just make sure that you are in a seat, because in a few minutes, we're going to set up a breakout room from Zoom, and you will go to that breakout room based on the number of table that you are in. And so we're going to launch, as what Angela was mentioning a while ago, and into our activity. If I can grab the...
Yeah, we're going to just reveal the activity at your table. And I think, guys, do we have 7? It looks like we have about 7 tables occupied. Do we need 8? I think 7 should be good. So what we thought we would do is Darwin will give you the instruction on what you're going to do, and then we're going to send you to 7 breakout rooms. But the important thing is you're going to put yourself in the breakout room. So Zoom is going to give you a prompt. And for example, if you're sitting here at table number 1 over here, then you're going to go into breakout room 1, and you're going to go in there for literally about 8 minutes or so. And then Darwin will give the instruction of what to do in those 8 minutes with the other members who are at your table.
Okay,
I have the breakout rooms ready, and then you can give them the instruction, Darwin.
Yep, before you head off to the breakout room, thanks for that, Angela, for setting up the breakout room. So what we will do once we're in the breakout room is that practically you're seated in your table. You need to select one brick that represents to this, an answer to this question: what's holding you back from bringing more play into your practice or into your work? So just grab one Lego element and respond to the challenge question, or that question: what's holding you back from bringing more play into your practice work? As what Angela mentioned a while ago, we're going to be staying in our breakout room for about 8 minutes. So that gives about like 2 minutes each to share their response to that one. So all good?
So the only tricky thing here, guys, which we've established as we sort of been testing the system, is that depending how you're running Zoom, if you're on PC or Mac. So what will happen is I'm going to open rooms now, and you're going to get given a prompt to join a room. You're going to join your bottom table. Yeah. And if you are like me, you're on Mac, it simply has a number that you've got to click. If you might be on PC, it will actually say the words join, which is obviously spectacularly more clear. And so, but I'm going to open the rooms, and you're going to go into the rooms for 8 minutes, and then we'll bring you back. Okay. And of course, Josh and Isman, you can join a room, and I think Darwin and I might just come lurk in a room as well. So opening rooms now.
Great. I'll see you in a bit, guys. do you want to stop sharing, Angela? And so we can see.
Can.
Yep.
Can stop sharing.
Cool.
Cool.
See who's
So
still out.
rooms are open and nobody's in the room yet. You guys, did you get a message?
No message.
We did not.
Okay.
The
I'm
bottom.
sending you a message. Did you get a message?
Everyone join your. I saw a message at the top that says "Everyone join your room," but there's no
Yeah.
pop-up.
No pop-up. Oh boy.
Yeah,
think-
I also
I think
not
if you
see
go to-
anything for join any room.
No, you have
the
to
Okay,
go to
so-
the
On
bottom
my
and
Mac.
go to breakout
My
rooms
Mac.
and then
Yeah.
select.
Breakout room.
Ah, there you are. Yeah, guys.
At the-
Yeah, at
Click,
the bottom,
click,
click on the
breakout.
button that says "Breakout Room." That's the key
Yep.
piece.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Testing new Zoom features.
Yeah. Yep. Testing new Zoom features.
Yeah.
That
So
makes
I can
sense.
see they're
People are
going.
going
We've
in.
only got
Yep.
This
Good,
is what
good, good,
going
good.
play
into their
for.
rooms.
Yeah. Just have a play.
Play to learn. To learn.
Yep.
And
Let's
if you're
see
not
who's
sure
still-
how to do it, just tell me your breakout room and I'll push you into it.
Yep. Judith,
Hi.
Judith.
I don't-
Who's that?
Hey, Darwin.
Good.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Hi.
Na-
I don't see the breakout room at the bottom.
Okay. Okay. So Judith, what table were you at? Did you pick a table? What table number were you at?
You know, I came in late. I apologize. But I was
So
trying.
no worries. Let's find you a
a.
seat. We're going to find you a
7,
table. Is table 7 got anybody?
7 is open.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So I'm
just-
going to put you in table 7, Judith. So
All
I'm
right.
going to assign you. You're going to go.
Oh,
Hey,
there.
Angela, I don't know how to get on the table.
What table are you, Jer? Did
Could
you get a
not get
table?
on- No, I didn't.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to put you in. I'll put you in table number 6. Okay. So
There's a
I'll
lot there
assign
now,
you
Yep.
about
to a
4.
room.
Maylin here.
Yeah.
I don't see an option to join a breakout room too. On
What table are you?
table 1.
Maylin, I'm sending you to table 1. Okay.
All
Anyone else
right.
need to be assigned?
Can you send me a table?
Hi,
please,
Angela.
Just
Yeah.
send me the
Jaru.
table.
Jaru.
Who was that?
Francis,
Who's that? Francis? What table are you going to?
I haven't got a table. Just give me one.
Okay, I'm sending you to a table.
Get him a table.
Cheryl, 1. Table 1.
1.
Okay, going.
Hi, sorry, this is Louis. I think I didn't log into my Miro. That's why you can't send me. I'm at table 2.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you.
Assigned to table 2. Got it.
So we have Grace and Anissa.
Yeah,
Who else?
Grace?
TD option to get into a room.
I'll just give you one. Let's send you to. Okay.
All right, thanks.
And Annalisa, can I send you to a room? Send you to a
Anissa.
table. Anissa, I'll just send you.
Sure, got it. Okay, thank you.
Cool. Isman, you want to go somewhere?
No, I'm sick. So I'm staying here.
You're not well. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go and see.
There's a bit of
yeah,
an imbalance in the number of
I'll
people in the
move.
room.
Room 2 is massive.
Yeah, two is like
But-
everyone there.
But I think it's
No
fine.
worries. It's cool for this first exercise.
Yeah.
It's cool because they're literally just saying what brick. So
Are you going
room
into a
6
room?
is good. I think I'll go join Josh in 7.
Okay, I'll pop in at 6. Oh, where's Judith? Isman, are you feeling okay?
I think I have the
So-
tummy flu, so that's
Oh
why
gosh, yeah, that's horrible.
it's one of those that lingers.
Yeah. Lots of fluids, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna jump into 1 and see how.
Okay.
things- Room 1. See you in a bit. Do we have a timer set up?
No. No.
Oh gosh, she forgot to put the timer.
How
Can
how
we
many?
do that?
Yeah, I think you can do that in Miro.
No, I don't have the rights because she was the one that set up. We're just
In
co-hosts,
Miro?
right?
No, I can do it in Miro.
Oh, yep. Okay, Miro timer.
What?
Okay.
5 minutes?
Yeah, I think 5 minutes and then we go.
Okay, let's go.
Yep. Okay. Good stuff. Thank you, sir. I was thinking it will be in. Okay, group 1, join.
We had a small team. No. We had a small group. So we were like super quick. Covered it in no time at all. I can see people have really had some fun with this.
It's a fun activity.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like your costume.
Thank you. It's almost Halloween.
It is almost. I gotta get a costume. I have a really cool mask actually for my for going outside. It's a tiger face mask. Well, yeah,
a real one.
No, it's it's my my COVID mask is a
oh, I see.
It has a tiger's face on it because it's
that's
awesome.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay. So everybody is on their way back. We have a few folks still. 30 seconds, and then we'll close all the rooms and bounce everybody back into the main area.
Cool.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, which is showing Miro, so it looks like something is going on in the YouTube. In the YouTube video.
I see.
Awesome. Sounds good to me.
Hi, Eastman.
Hi, Judith. How are you?
How'd you get that hat and the mask?
It's one of those silly things in Zoom. So it's I think
I
it's
don't
in,
see it though.
oh, you didn't see it? It's you know where the video
Virtual.
icon? Yeah, it's called the choose the virtual background. No, choose video filter. That is the
Okay. It doesn't. Yeah. All right.
No, not on yours. Are you on browser or are you on the app?
Well, it depends which version Judith has. It was so if you haven't
That's right.
updated in the last month, it wouldn't be there.
All right. I get it. Okay.
And I know I look a bit
Breakouts, okay.
sinister right now. So
Yeah,
you are awesomely sinister.
It's a cool, fun. I think we all agree that we need a little bit of lightness to come into our meetings, and I think it's like one simple thing Zoom did, which I think really just adds a little bit of joy and lightness to our drudgery that sometimes it can feel.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel like Hamburglar. You guys know Hamburglar?
Yeah, definitely. All right, everyone seems to be rolling back in, and I guess the key sort of output of this exercise was very simple, right? There were 8 Lego bricks, and we asked you to pick one, and then link it to what was quite a serious question, right? So we had what's sort of stopping you from bringing more play into your workplace? And of course we say, don't overthink it. Just, whatever you instantly are drawn to, you will find a connection. And the wonderful thing about the brick is that it has meaning, right? So the brick has meaning, it has metaphor, and you'll find a link, and you can say, oh, I can see how, why I'm not bringing, play more into my life or into my work. And this is one of the sort of essential qualities of serious play, is that we're dealing in this realm of, firstly, it's very visual. And of course, that makes it really suited to doing it virtually with Miro. But also it is about storytelling. You're using those artifacts, those bricks, and telling stories around that trash can or that red light or that window. So I'm gonna maybe just get a couple folks to share a little bit on I was in group 7. Robert, can I pick on you? You had an interesting choice. Yeah, you tell us what you chose, and sort of how it linked to the question about what's holding you back.
Oh, I chose the barrier, which looks like something an event or police would put up to offer crowd control. For me, this represents the different restrictions that some of our clients have with their virtual networks. So, for example, participants might not be able to even turn on their video, or certain websites like Google might be blocked. So we have to test those things and figure out how to get around those barriers or jump over them depending on the event.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Good one. Darwin, were you in a group? Did you have some interesting sharing from your side?
Of course, yes. Quite interestingly, I was at table 1, breakout room 1, and we had a few, although I jumped in late, but I caught a bit of the discussion, and I think we might want to hear from Mei Lin on what she shared. I think it was an interesting discussion that we had then. Mei Lin, would you?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Darwin. So I chose the brick that represents the window. Actually, I couldn't tell from just a picture, but good thing that there's some caption to each image. So because I work in an educational institution, so we have lots of ideas about play, in fact, to introduce the students as well as faculty. So we are always excited about what we see outside the window and bring in all these ideas into the house. But sometimes it did not work well. Either the conception of what play is when it is being translated to implementation, it became kind of boring. It's no longer play. Yeah, and different people have different definition of what play is. Yeah, so I think that is preventing us from introducing or integrating more play in learning.
Great. Good stuff. Thanks, Mei Lin.
Cool, guys. So that's just a little intro warm-up exercise. It's something we use a lot in our work with serious play, because I think metaphor and visual being such an important part of it. And it starts to just get people thinking a little bit more along those lines. I thought I'd just share before we get into another activity and share some of the other methods, a little bit around the why serious play. And I think even in the group that I joined, I heard some pushback that sometimes play is seen as frivolous and not productive, and maybe something that's, it's an extra thing that perhaps can happen sort of at the end of the workday, for example. So maybe I'll just share my screen and you can follow along. I'll bring everyone to me. And if you want, you can follow along with these couple of slides. And basically the reason why Darwin and I are such sort of big fans of serious play is that we work in an innovation area. We are always looking for new ways to sort of challenge conventional wisdom, get us out of our sort of business as usual routine thinking. And we feel like serious play brings that opportunity to really help people open up their imaginations. We always hear about this saying of helping people think outside of the box. Well, they don't have to try too hard when you put them in a playful state. And so we try to put people in a play mode, and hopefully the breakthrough thinking sort of comes a little bit easier. We work a lot in innovation and design thinking, and we really see the value of bringing play even into the design thinking process. It helps create engagement, participation. But I think beyond innovation work, play enriches work. It builds the team, it warms us all up together, it creates those emotional bonds even. And of course, you can bring down sometimes people's walls that they have when they, we put up these walls, we're protecting turf, our department or our territory. And somehow when we're in a play state, we kind of let that guard down. And I think it has huge value for organizations that we get out of our heads, we stop thinking about things too much. We have a saying in Lego serious play, which is, don't have a meeting with yourself. Don't overthink, trust your hands. Of course, serious play has a lot of tactile elements, a lot of making, building. And so we say, if you don't have a thought, don't worry. The hands know. And you get into this idea of flow, and flow is about, when you're like in an activity that is engrossing, motivating, and time just sort of zips by. So we love it for that reason. And of course, I think in this virtual world and everyone working from home and spending so much screen time, I think it really is needed sort of even more. So in terms of the serious play aspect, of course, this has been around for some time. I think from the mid-90s already, we've seen the term being used quite frequently. There's two aspects, which is really what makes it so interesting. It's not just play. Play, of course, we know what play is. We've all grown up playing as children. We even know when adults play. But serious play has got an outcome-oriented perspective. It's all about achieving an outcome. But the wonderful thing about it is that people are having fun, they're enjoying, they're engrossed in activity that then gets them to that destination. And so, there's a degree of focus on a challenge, but there is the toying with possibility and boundaries, which is really what makes it so powerful. There's a lot of really good research behind the science of serious play and how people learn and how people experience things, but I won't get into all of that today. I thought we would just get to experience it a little bit more. In terms of what does serious play actually bring and what are sort of the elements that make something serious play, well, it's very human-centered. Serious play, generally a method that we use. Firstly, it is very individual. So it's about the individual contributing. Isman mentioned earlier that Darwin and myself and Isman are Lego serious play facilitators. Lego serious play probably being the most famous and robust method within serious play. And of course, it uses metaphor, as you've just learned in the appetizer activity. There's storytelling. You tell the story of what that brick means or what that model means. And it's all of that is really making us as humans, we really connect with story so strongly. And when you take the world of innovation or strategy or our team identity and you put story to it and emotion, people really cling to it and remember it. But there's some other elements as well. There's sometimes an element of spontaneity in serious play, you know, as in when we do improv, it's like on the spot problem solving and creativity. Of course, there's making as well, and prototyping is in fact can be a serious play activity as well. There's provocations, role play, and so lots of different qualities that kind of bring something into the serious play realm. In terms of where sort of we are, you know, focused, of course, our genesis, as I said, is Lego serious play. It's real hard to demo Lego serious play with a group of people around the Asia region. You've got to have a set of bricks, and it's much tougher. But I think we've been exploring the other methods. And of course, there's a huge buffet of options. But we love Lego serious play. It's very powerful. It's very robust. It's been around for a long time. Quite well validated in terms of delivering outputs. But if we look at some of the other methods, what we like about them is that if you think about any planning or innovation process, you start off with this sort of trying to grapple with what the problem is, trying to make sense of things, and then emerge, sort of having a problem definition and maybe even leaping off into, you know, new ideas and then validating those ideas. So there are different activities within serious play that are very suited to that front end. And of course, we think Lego serious play is very strong at the emergent phase where you're sort of unlocking knowledge. And there are other activities that are more suited to maybe the exploitation part, where you're now trying to optimize ideas. You're trying to test and validate them. So we have, we've called this like a serious play buffet of methods. There are appetizers that sort of open the door to conversations. There's the main course or the entree, which really can help get you to deep dive and immerse in a problem and in a solution. And then of course, there's the dessert as well. Unfortunately, today we don't have time for dessert, I believe, Darwin, in terms of our time with these folks. But we do have some time to show you a little bit of the buffet.
The spread. Let's show them the spread,
and then to maybe also trial another activity. So I'm going to stop sharing for now, Darwin, and I think you can maybe sort of give people a little whirlwind tour of the buffet.
Exactly. I am going to bring everyone to my screen. And so what you are seeing right now is just to give a flavor of what Angela mentioned a while ago in terms of the three, how we've sort of like chunked serious play methodologies or tools that we have encountered. So appetizer, main course, and the dessert. If we stretch that analogy a bit further and then we look at appetizers, so these are the ones that are serious play methods or tool that opens up the palette, so to speak. These are good for opening dialogues, and it could be, you know, you have icebreakers, but in order for it not to be just like one of the others that you encounter, I think when Angela mentioned a while ago in terms of the qualities of this serious play methods, and this is where Angela and I would step back and with the myriad of methods and tools that are out there, which are strongest in terms of the qualities of the characteristic of this serious play. So like in the instance of...
Hey, Darwin, you want to share your screen on Zoom as well so that we get it into the recording?
Okay, perfect. Hang on. Let me just share my screen. Okay, got it?
Yep.
Seeing
so we're
it?
in the appetizer. We're not yet, Darwin. I'm not seeing it. No. Yes.
Very good.
Yep. Okay. Very good. Yep. So we have the appetizers, and a while ago you had a taste of it by using the brick as a metaphor. So these are good for like opening up conversations that are probably difficult. And so when you use metaphor and storytelling, using inanimate objects like Lego elements or Lego bricks, and of course, this might be firing up neurons already in terms of what it could be that you could use. Oops, it's moving, but let me just let me just zoom in. And so like one example of an appetizer would be creating this one. I've sort of like appropriated from a design that I encountered in Miroverse, but infuse it with a different kind of intent, using 3 icons to tell a story based on a question or a provocation that I would throw at a group of people. So nicely done up, nicely set up, quite simple to execute, and you get a lot of discussion. In fact, yesterday, a group of us, we tried this, and the quality and the richness of the conversation or the stories that we had was quite intense, considering that we were only choosing 3 icons. Bringing you to another one, and this might be familiar for some of you that have looked at liberating structures, where words might be difficult to use or stories are hard to come by when you're challenging a group of people by asking them to write about it. If you, for example, use this fairly simple elements of like 5 drawing elements in the site, and then you ask them a question based on based on the need of the meeting or the setup, the meetup, you will be surprised on the things that come out based on just giving them 5 elements that you can just start adding and using into that one. And so if you want, so this is us like taking a stab at how do we employ what's conventional and it's already existing, like liberating structure, draw together and enhance it in the level of learning experience or engagement in an online environment. So let me just quickly move into leaving the appetizer. Of course, there's a suite of other engagement activity that you can do in a serious play mode.
And the great thing about appetizers, of course, is that when, if your intent is, and our intent has always been about getting more participation into initiatives, whether it be innovation or other sort of company-wide, could be school initiatives, education initiatives, you want to give people an opportunity to sort of like ease into that topic. And these appetizers are a non-threatening, sort of very equalizing kind of what we say sort of low mental load kind of activity that everybody should feel fairly comfortable doing and at least starting a dialogue. And that allows you to then move into a little bit more of a deeper.
Yeah. I like this transition, but it's still within the appetizer sort of like opening up. I've seen Angela use this quite effectively in a lot of our session, wherein we use objects or images that you can readily find when you use your Google image search, right? And then apply it in an exploration of a topic using a visual library of visual materials that you can have, like in this instance, a visual exploration of a topic, and you can start engaging your group by asking them to just move it around, and the conversation becomes a bit richer in that instance. Angela, you want to take an add-on to this one?
And I think the only thing maybe of this sort of like number 5, which is the visual exploration of topic, which is a very sort of, again, a very entry level, but you're now starting to get into richer storytelling. And of course, how this works is you link it to a topic. So you say, tell me which image represents, for example, your company's relationship with innovation or whatever the topic may be. The participant describes what they're seeing in the image. So that's the first step. I'm seeing a guy pushing a car, struggling to push a car ahead. And how this connects to the topic is, I feel like sometimes in our company, we have a lot of excitement about innovation, but it always seems like we're pushing the car from behind, and it's like always me. And you get a lot of rich storytelling once again around those. And of course, there is a number 6 below is a little bit more now getting into a much more deeper sort of unraveling of the story of what's going on. So it could be our current situation, our inhibiting belief, our strength or our resource. And so everybody can pick a image that connects with maybe that aspect of whatever your topic is about innovation or whatever it happens to be. You can do this individually. We always like serious play activities to start from the individual. And then you can always move to maybe some kind of
group. a shared or a group discussion, and it becomes
later on.
Yeah, so much meaningful.
Allow
which is
everyone to have their voice.
Yep, definitely. And I think that's what we highlighted a while ago in terms of the factors or criteria when we're looking at serious play methods and tools. It's a good segue now to transition from what we consider like appetizers or openers to the discussion into the main course. And I think this is where Angela will lead us through with a group activity with that. But just very quickly, I just want to highlight and put a spotlight in one of the so like a main course in product box. We've sort of like utilized this one, and it's always a challenge to translate and to sort of like merge an offline activity into an online. And so product box, which by the name itself would be traditionally like a physical activity. What we've also done is experimented trying to merge this like online, offline kind of engagement using Miro. Very quickly, like, product box would be, our participants would receive their physical boxes, but as part of an engagement and provocation is that we will then ask them to use the same box in terms of answering this was applied in a design thinking process wherein we were like sort of like prototyping, leading into the prototyping. And so you can imagine how participants were reacting and interacting to the physical box that they got, and then they had to start using that one and start sharing that one. So Angela, off to you, and
yes. Okay, let's and if you can just keep sharing, Darwin, I think it might just make it easier. And let's go to Creative Matrix. We're going to go to Creative Matrix, which is number 10. And we thought we would do a little activity here. Of course, I'm sure some of you might even be familiar with Creative Matrix. Essentially, it is a simple, very fast activity which allows people to generate ideas very quickly. You have a series of maybe target audiences in the columns. Across the rows, you then have maybe some potential opportunities, for example, to create a program or an event, or it could be a TV show, it could be a festival, whatever. And so it's a simple sort of like finding what is the idea when you collide sort of a row and a column, and you ask everybody to take a Post-it and pop a little idea headline into the box inside of the matrix. We have, if you go to the right of the template of Creative Matrix, we have one populated for you. This is one that we did with a team of people around, I don't know, we were doing an exercise, I think, on design thinking, Darwin, about getting a good night's sleep, something everyone could relate to. And we even got them to, we color coded some of the ideas sort of near the end of the session in terms of the ones we had a little bit more heart for, and it helped with some sorting that happens obviously a little bit later. So that's just an example. What we thought we would do is do a little bit of a Creative Matrix mashup. After all, we're cooking with serious play, which means there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that comes together, and hopefully our fusion of different tools even can create something useful. And we've got two worksheets there. You'll see there's worksheet 1 and worksheet number 2. I have already created 2 breakout rooms for us. We're going to go to 2 breakout rooms in a moment, and you will be assigned by the machine. Randomly, you'll be allocated a room, and it'll say either room 1 or room 2. Just look at your room number. You'll know which of those matrices to actually head to. And I'll just walk you through how we would do this. So if you could just zoom into the first matrix mashup for us, Darwin, so everyone can see it.
Hey, Angela, you want to bring us to your screen? Because I think only you have the power to do that.
Only I have the power. Bring everybody to me. There we go. So I am at the Creative Matrix mashup worksheet number 1. And what I've done here is I've got a simple question that we're going to sort of put our brains to. How might we encourage the adoption of serious play in Asia, or you could have it in your country, it doesn't matter. And I've got three target audiences. I've got government, education, and business or the public. So those are in the columns. And in the rows, I have three very different provocations. So the first provocation is an image. So the image, again, you say, okay, how does this image, which looks like a lettuce leaf on a plate, what does it make me think of? And how does it sort of, if you like, inspire an idea to do something to encourage serious play in Asia? And obviously this could be government, if you pop it in the first box, or it could be education in the second one. And of course, we want you to grab these Post-its. And of course, you can always just add one. You go to the left-hand bar on your Miro and you click and you can add a Post-it. And so, yeah, we basically want you to move those across and to type a little idea and say, so I've already got an idea in here down at the bottom. I had one for government, and this is for an event, a program, or any partnership. And I had what if we had a program where we teach serious play in high school, for example? We think of play as something for kids, but by the time we get to sort of the formal education system, it kind of is left behind. So what if we had something like that? And of course, we want you to think wild ideas, blue sky it, don't worry about what's practical or not practical. And so I'm going to send you guys now for the next, we're going to do probably 10 minutes or maybe 15. We might go to 15. Darwin is going to join room number 2, and I will join room number 1. But you're going to be writing these ideas, probably not so much chatting amongst yourselves, but you are sort of individual storming here. Of course, we're there to help. And if you need clarifications on how to do something, you just holler. But basically, we're each going to go to a room. Sorry, we're going into 2 breakout rooms. And we're going to try and fill this. And so let me throw a challenge to see, will Chef Darwin or Chef Angela's teams have the most Post-its? I think in 15 minutes, we should at least have 30 Post-its on each board. So that would
we're
be
itching.
sort of,
We're dying to get into
so
this.
I'm opening rooms, and if Isman, if you could put the clock on 15 minutes for us. And so opening all rooms, you should be getting a message. Did you get a message? Because that didn't work before. Click on breakout rooms and join your room. And everybody is going, and I will join group number 1 when everyone's gone.
Yes, there's some holdouts.
Everybody in? Is everybody
no,
in?
we have a few. We have Michelle, Judith, and Louis.
Everybody know what they're doing. Michelle, let me see. Michelle is supposed to be gone. Michelle.
There, okay.
Gone.
Hamburglar
Cool.
is staying
Okay.
on. Okay, I'm joining.
I'm joining group. Isman, have you got the clock? Awesome. We'll see you back soon.
Have fun, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Abdul, Shini. I like the hat, Abdul.
Thank you. Thank you.
There is that beach, the moving beach virtual background thing. It looks perfect with the hat.
Let's try that. Let's try that. Where's everyone else?
I think they're all still. Ah, there they are.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Hello. How was that? So I didn't even have a peek at Team 2's board. Did anyone look over yonder and see how they did?
We've been looking at yours, so don't worry. Like, at least I'm looking at what you guys.
Well, I gotta say, Team 1, you did not too shabby. Like, that's a lot of ideas there, isn't it?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So why don't we have just?
Yeah, we did have time to chat about this, the things that we can probably call out and started discussing.
No worries. Why don't we do that? I'm going to share screen, Darwin, and why don't you guys maybe just share a couple of one or two of the ideas that sort of came about.
Yep. I think we can probably call in Robert in terms of this idea that we kind of latched on and we kind of like built on. Is it Robert, right? This intersection between education and event and program. Robert, can you
come in?
For it?
Yeah, sure. So I had an idea for a physical event, even though I know we're so focused on virtual. I thought let's go back to physical for a moment. If we had a university and let's say we had a group of students, we could give them a video scavenger hunt where they're looking for certain people or certain answers. So it could be as simple as finding someone from Eastern Europe. They're just interviewing people for a class project to see if they do run across anyone from Eastern Europe, or it could be more focused on academics where they're trying to find someone who works in sales and is willing to give you a 30-second sales pitch on video. Even though it's physical, this could turn into a virtual event with some tweaking in a large group.
Nice.
Great.
Cool. And I'd love to hear, how was it? Because I know that, using the visual, maybe while you're there, how was it using the visual to try and create an idea? Was that tricky for you? Did you manage to get into sort of getting some inspiration from, for example, you have it looks like a set of umbrellas and a red umbrella sort of. How did that work for you guys?
If I can be honest, our group really didn't focus too much on the visuals. We really looked at just brainstorming, I think individually brainstorming different ideas that we could put out there on the stickies. We did talk about the umbrella and the image, and I think some of us used that in that top row. But when we got down, to events, programs, and partnerships, we kind of left that on the side.
No, sure. And realistically, when we do this kind of activity, we probably focus more on the kind of the events, the programs, the partnerships. If we created an experience, what would that look like? If we launched a book, what would the title of that book be? It's that kind of stuff. But these other activities which use the visual or the brands can sort of push you a little bit further. So that's cool. I see some hackathons in there. Demo days which is a great one.
We had a bit of a struggle with the government side, but interestingly,
no worries.
Louis was in GovTech side, so we're kind of like, let's help Louis on this one and start mashing up some ideas. It was an interesting session.
Cool. So let's just move over to the other worksheet. So this was my team. And we had an interesting
even had Godzilla.
A lettuce leaf on a plate. We had Grab or Shopee, and we had an event program partnership. Can I ask my South African friend Afzul to just share one or two ideas that you popped on the board?
The one idea I popped on the board is pretty close to home, because we tend to have people queuing for extended periods of time for services when it comes to government. And I thought, how about using Serious Play to reduce boredom when queuing for services? That was
Love it.
one.
Yes.
And
Did you have
the
another
other
one you want to call out?
Oh yes, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm starting to love that one myself. When it came to business, I thought Serious Play would be a lovely means using Serious Play to embed organizational culture.
Nice. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Those were the
those
that
two.
I
Those
came
are
up with.
awesome. And maybe I can ask the rest of my team. I'm trying to remember who was on my team now. Shairul, were you on my team? You were, right?
Yes, you are.
As I was, yeah.
You were. Did you have a couple ideas you wanted to call out that, or maybe if you could just share a little bit, Cheryl, about how was it to try and put some ideas onto the board? How was it for you? Did you have any challenges? You know, tell us a little bit about the experience.
I don't think there were major challenges because I mean, if you know what Serious Play is about, you want to actually have everybody do this, right? So I think it's pretty interesting when you use Miro, when you put it up, as you're putting your sticky notes up, you are able to see everybody's sticky notes, and based on that, it kind of triggers, okay, hey, I didn't think of that, and that's another way I think of it. So that was really visually stimulating as opposed to doing, because typically if I were to do this in a workshop, right, I'll be with my post-its and you write your own post-its. So that's how we usually facilitate it. Everybody just put it up, right? Yeah. And then when you put your post-its up, you're like, oh, I didn't write that one down. Oh, I didn't think about that. And then so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Of course, when we're all together sitting in a workshop, we could have a huge canvas and it's great, we can do this, right? But you're right, somehow having it on a screen, we can see everyone's post-its as they're being typed out. And of course, the great thing too is now there's a lot here and there's a little bit of a filtering process that might need to happen. And part of that, of course, you can just start to remove some that are completely out of bounds, or you can use, the voting functions and get people to vote on which ideas they think have potential. And so again, the Miro board really helps us, and you can set up a vote and get people to click on the post-it. So it's a really cool exercise. The whole objective of this is really just to get a rapid fire of ideas. And that's, at the early stage of idea generation, that's what you want. Lots of stuff, just fill the boards. We've got great volume here. I would say, a good 40 ideas at least on each canvas. So well done there for that. And it was only 15 minutes. You don't need to go for so long. This kind of burst of ideation, I think you can't push it for too long. Maybe 20 minutes is about the max, and then you kind of stop and reflect and do some sorting, and maybe you go again with another activity. So we'll leave that. That's our sort of main course.
I don't know whether it's a question or a comment.
Sure, carry on.
Is it just me, or 15 minutes feels long when you're doing it online as opposed to 15 minutes physically? Is it just me, or?
Interesting, that one. I think it depends how many of you are in the group. I think it really does depend a lot on how many folks there are and how much debate and discussion there is. But because you were doing it, Cheryl, mostly sort of just you're just thinking, you're having kind of a conversation with yourself rather than with your colleagues, right? Then 15 minutes is quite long. But I think in a typical context, we're all sort of care about this issue a lot. And there might even be hey, I saw your idea there. What do you mean? There's like a clarification. And then, oh, no, I've also got an idea that goes with that. And so, yes, you do need the sort of, and the 15 and 20 literally just goes by like that. So I would say it's about right in terms of timing. Okay, so we're going to leave these activities, and of course there's a few others for you to have a look at.
Yep.
Even the brands, we've got, you know, there's a pure activity around brands. So there's an alternate world activity, which if I just bring you guys here to me, where you inhabit the world of a brand and you say, hey, how would Apple solve this? How would Amazon solve this? How would they bring serious play to the world? And let me think a bit like them. So there's a couple of other activities that we have here, and we'd love to hear from you guys if you've got your own sort of great ideation techniques that are more in a playful sense. I think for there, we now move to appetizers, sorry, dessert.
Dessert.
And we're not going to run through dessert though.
Yeah.
But what we just want to say about dessert is there are some really good tools here. Things like buy a feature that are really good, where you use money to attach to features and you kind of role play how people would attach price points to different features. It's great for testing, particularly if you've got a prototype. It's really good for that. There's another one here which I'm less familiar with, which is a Darwin. You want to tell us what 99 uses is? 99
uses very quickly. It's again an appropriation of what could have been an appetizer at the beginning, but more of, if we use this, for example, in customer discovery or customer activation, once you've done a prototype, and before you even segue into like prototyping, you just want to make sure that when you're engaging a customer in an online environment, you probably would want to, like, you know, start the ball rolling and open up that mind in terms of what could be the other uses that this prototype that he or she might be encountering. Yeah. So fairly straightforward, very easy activity. Then you have Pecha Kucha, which is like, wow, fascinating stuff.
Well, it's just an adaptation from the sort of real world Pecha Kucha, where you've got a presentation of like 20 images, each image 20 seconds for storytelling. And so we use it digitally. We've sort of uploaded a whole lot of these images. Of course, we would have them as individual images typically, so that people can sort of grab them and say, what's my story? And we've got like a simple 9-box setup, but of course you could make it 3 boxes, 12 boxes, whatever. And you ask, it could be done at a team level. Again, tell me a story around, you know, how we as a company are doing on building culture around innovation. And, you know, you pop a image there, and of course there's a little post-it sort of descriptor that goes with it. The key thing, of course, with this one is the actual storytelling that follows. Yep. So each of the team members then sort of take time to sort of walk through the story and sort of see in their own words sort of how that links to the challenge. So these are nice sort of closing off, rounding off, finishing up sort of activities. But yeah, that's for another time. And I think that's kind of us done. The only other thing we wanted to say is we have a program coming up.
Throw in the challenge to them,
Yeah. We have a program coming up next month. It's 7.5 hours of a deep dive into serious play activities. It's all done remotely. And we want to give one of you a scholarship. So the good news is that it's 2:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon Singapore time. So that's not too early for you, Afzal. And when at the end of the call, just you guys can click on this Google form link and just tell us why you need serious play in your life. And one of you will join that free, gratis, no money at all. So we've already had one run last 2 months ago. We had a run with 12 people. And we've already got some folks. I've got somebody from Australia from Darwin, Australia, which is really interesting. And a few other folks have already signed up. So
it's a fairly small and tight group. Yeah,
we're only going to have about 12 of you, and Darwin and I will be running it. So that's us. I think it's time to send back to our hosts. Josh? Yes, man.
Absolutely. So can we give a big clap and a big thank you for Angela and Darwin? Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
This board. So as a note, everybody, this board will remain. Now it'll go into view only mode soon. So all the playful editing will be done. But if you want to get inspired by this myriad of activities, this true buffet that we've got here, you'll be able to go back to this anytime. The recording will also be up on Miro. We'll be posting that. Usually it posts about a week after the session. That's normally how long it takes. I'm just going to really briefly screen share because I think it's a really cool opportunity that you guys are offering people a free opportunity on that scholarship. So anybody who wants to, the link here, I'm just putting it here just so you're all clear on it. I'm going to bring you all to it. Bring everyone to me. I can't actually.
No,
I don't actually have that superpower because I'm just a guest. Never mind.
I can do it. I can do it.
Bring everyone to the Google Form link. If you just click on the link, you'll see a little thing that pops on up. And you know what I'm going to do to make life even easier? Crazy idea. I'm going to put it in the chat. So it's also going to be in the chat. We just make life easy for people here. Sure. So I'm going to put it in the chat as well, just so you all have access to that. Again, that's optional. That's if you want to enjoy, if you want the potential to win a free scholarship. But I want to say that we run these once a month. They are free. They will continue to always be free. It's part of the Miro community. The Miro community doesn't stop with the APAC virtual user. It's such a mouthful. APAC virtual Miro user group. VMUG. That's what they call it. A VMUG. We got it. Yeah. If you saw the intro video for this, I couldn't get it out then either. I never can say it correctly. But that's fine. That's why Isman makes me do it and not him, because he's just like, no, I'm not going to say that. But there is an online community as well. We have put the links to the online community on the board as well. Isman, would you mind also in the chat, if you, with your nice Hamburglar mask on, if you could actually put the links to the Miro community in the chat as well? If you have an idea for a session that you would like to run or a topic you would like to see, please reach out to Isman, myself, or post it in the, my brain just died, post it in the Miro community forum. I'll put my email in the chat as well if you want to reach out on there with any ideas, or if you want to raise your hand to potentially run a session. Of course, if you want to know more about Serious Play, reach on out to our awesome Angela and Darwin. They are nicely on LinkedIn, very easy to find. In the debrief post that we'll be putting out on this, we'll have all their contacts on there as well. Cool. We're gonna stop the recording in just a moment. It is officially 6:30 Hong Kong and Singapore time, which is the official end for this program. We're happy to stick around for a couple more minutes, but just so you know, we are gonna